Hungary, Theis Foundation, and Zora.
Okay, so it looks like it's working, the internet. I'm from Hungary, Zora, nice to meet you. It's a small organization, we have a grassroots organization, meaning that we only work with volunteers. And the project I'm going to present you is one of our activities which is actually not international, but I wanted to pick one which is really a local action and which can be maybe somehow inspiring for you today. So this is about a summer camp, Theis Go and Grow, and yeah, let's see. The whole summer camp is starting with a topic. We always, each year, we pick a topic for our camp. Last year, no, the second last year was Dark Middle Age, before it was the Wild West, Western summer camp, and before it was in the future, Intergalactic camp. And why I chose this template for this presentation, because once we also had a treasure island topic, and so the youngsters are integrated somehow in a fantasy world which we create with our volunteers in the camp. And this was the logo for the middle age one. And about the participants. In all camps there is only 40 kids to participate, which is in Hungary it's quite a small one, because we always want to learn the names of the kids and we want to have a personal contact with them, kids and youth. And there is always, there are also 4 youth leaders, which are kids who grow kind of in the summer camp and then later they become leader. We also have mentorship for them and youth leader training. And with the 40 children, 4 youth leaders, there are also 6 other volunteers who are the camp leaders. So altogether 50 people, 10 persons for taking care of 40 kids. They are all volunteers, of course, nobody gets paid over there. Then what makes special this project? I was thinking a little bit, why is it so special for us? Why is it so important? And actually one of the key things is that there is a big age range from 6 to 16, and the youngsters and kids are all mixed. Girls, boys, kids, youth, or urban and rural youth. And they are somehow invited to be integrated and to act together, to somehow cooperate. So it really enables them to learn how to cooperate with each other, and it's very nice to see the youngsters of 16 years old who usually just make fun of the kids, of the small ones, and you see them after a couple of days with the 6 years old on the shoulders and carrying them and helping them and having fun together. It's also for us this kind of intergenerational dialogue, so it's nice that they start to really talk to each other and to take into consideration each other's opinion. Also, that in the groups, in the subgroups, the opinion of the small children is also taken into consideration. Not only the bigger ones shape the program, so to say, and it creates kind of a synergy between the youth with this type of cooperation. As is just one from the Wild West. And again, what makes it special, there is a cooperative competition during the whole camp. It's a 10 days camp, and there are usually 4 or 5 subgroups where the youth are mixed, as I said. It's always the youth leaders on the first day who establish the teams, and the teams are always composed from these different backgrounds because they know that they need each other. We base the whole thing on this need, so that if there is a group where there are only big guys and I think this year we'll maybe skip the football competition and we will also only organize things where you have to go down in small holes, and they know that they have no chance then. They need small, big guys and children and also youth, girls and boys. So, and this is going into the the information is really going word of mouth. So the kids from last year informed the other ones already in the bus. It's very funny because we travel from Budapest 250 kilometers to the venue. It means that it's like 4 hours, but not on the motorway, but on the small roads. And they inform each other already. So they get to know this little information, so they know how to integrate in the camp. The success, there is always this competition of the 4 or 5 teams, and there is always a winning team. There is a prize at the end, but they all know via this word of mouth information that the prize at the end will be the very same thing for everyone. It's a big bunch of chocolate and different stuff, you know, what they can, fruits and Coke and whatever they like, but it's the same package for each team. So they really compete like hell, but only for the honor to be the first one, and they really need to consider that the end doesn't justify the means, so that we don't agree with this one. And in some exercises they do some quizzes, some challenges. They really need to cooperate even between the groups, so that you cannot win just yourself. You need the other teams, you need the team spirit in order to succeed in the competition. And the kids just love competition, I want to say. Also, what makes it special, but I was making kind of interview with some of the kids. What do you like about this? Because we have a very high rate of kids coming back. So more than the half of the kids are really wanting to come back. And even last summer we couldn't organize the camp because of financial reasons. And I had many phone calls already, kids calling me that, okay, this year, but will you do it? Because we really want to come. And this motivation, as we discovered, comes from the following. Because in this camp there are very few strict rules, but they are there. They cannot be changed, and there is a consistency in this. One of them, that you cannot leave the camp without telling us that you want to go away. So there is always an openness from us to implement initiatives youth come to us with, but we need to be informed, and we want some cooperation and partnership in this. So, for instance, there are parallel activities. There are 4 or 5 things to do every day. You can go hiking, you can go to caves, you can go to, I don't know, you can play table games, board games, or you can make handicraft things. You have to choose something, or you can also initiate something. So if you are not in the mood for any of these, but you have another idea, then you can do it. The only thing which is not allowed is to be there and to be bored and doing nothing. Yeah, this is something we don't really support. So they really like this fact that they are very free, but they know where are the borders. And this we always somehow prove. This is their job, to test if the borders are still there. But we also show them, yes, it's there, but we are very happy to see if you have an initiative and we can support you in doing it. And it works quite well, I have to say. We had 19 camps so far, so we hope to organize the 20th one this year. And about the inclusion aspect of the camp, it's also a very integrational approach, so we don't have one specific target group. But what we believe in is to integrate different youth with different kinds of difficulties or disorder. This is having ADHD, this is attention, can you say it?
Deficit disorder.
Yeah, hyperactivity disorder. Yeah, that's it. Attention something hyperactivity disorder. Basically hyperactive kids. Youth or kids who are facing bullying, and others simply with integrational difficulties. So what we observed is that these kids are constantly coming back, and even if they are 16, 17, they are calling us, can we still come? We know that we are too old, but we want to be there, because they simply feel that feeling that they are accepted, and we somehow always find a very special task for these youth, so that they feel they are important, they are really part of the process. And this also seems to be working. Also, of course, it would be very difficult to organize a summer camp for 40 kids who have this ADHD disorder. That would be, I don't know, I cannot even imagine how many social workers or how many youth workers would you need to work with them. But if you only have 2 or 3 of them, it's easier to deal with, and also normal or majority society, young people without any problem can learn from this, because they are also learning that these kids have difficulties, but they are okay, so they can be integrated, and you have to learn how to deal with them, maybe to be a bit more patient, but then you can see the positive side of the thing, because these kids are also bringing something to the community of the camp. Okay, and just to sum up, what do we want here when implementing this camp? We really work on the cooperation and communication skills of the kids, not only cooperation, as I explained, for the different type of activities, but also communication. So for instance, we always integrate some kind of activities where they can improve these skills. In the middle-aged one, for instance, there was a competition when they had to, when there is this barrel, and they have to stand in the barrel and make a speech for the others. And they could, 6, 7, 8 years old kids could already somehow practice the public speaking communication skills. And we give them some advices, really support them in doing it. And then they're very motivated because they know that they can earn some points for their team. And then they're very proud of themselves that they got something by being active and taking part. Autonomy, because we just give them many times challenges, tasks, and they can do it however they want, and they have to do it by themselves. They can cooperate in the teams, but we are just there in case of problems, serious problems, I mean. For instance, in the Wild West camp, all the teams got a big bag of beans one of the evenings, and a very few amount of money. And they had to organize to have dinner the next day. But then they have to choose who is going to the village, which is 5 kilometers away, who is making the fire, who is collecting wood, who is making the cooking, who is getting the recipe, and how are we going to make this. And this gives really a good team spirit, and at the same time they learn a bit of autonomy, how to manage these things, and also task division. Creativity and imagination is simply about using big and easy local tools for like this barrel, for instance, for the speeches, or we used big pieces of different types of materials from the village for the middle-aged camp, for instance, that you can get easily from the villagers, from the local community, and this way they are also involved. Or we borrowed a cow, for instance, once, or different types of things easy to get from the locals. And this way they really learn that, okay, to make something big, you don't need to invest a lot of money, but you just need your imagination, you just need your creativity, just do it, take it somehow. And about participation and active citizenship, this is about supporting their initiatives. If they do something, we really show support and involve them in the decision making. Also, for instance, in the Wild West camp, the youth and kids, when they had a problem, they had to submit a proposal or a complaint or anything. We had an old typewriter machine, and they had to use this and sign everything, like in the democratic process, that okay, you have to make something official. And it was very, very funny. We still keep most of the things with the outcomes from the youngsters. Like, can we change the music, please? And then there was a sheriff who always answered these requests and complaints. And these are our contacts. I have some information material stuff with me, so if you are interested in more in detail of our activities, you can just come to me and I'll give you some stuff. And of course you can approach me with questions. Maybe it's easier in the coffee breaks or something, but of course if you have questions now, I can also tell you something. Okay? Thank you very much.